What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Underground STRS Season 3, and today I am here with...
Houston native, Scottie the Reaper, like greater Houston area, but I'm Scottie the Reaper, aka Preston Caps is my real government name, I guess, but excited to be here and really blessed to have the opportunity. You guys put out some good content on everybody, so...
That's crazy. I didn't know you were from
Shout out
Houston.
Underground STRS. Yeah, it's like greater Houston area. I'm in between Houston and Beaumont. I'm closer to Baytown. Like I'm around there, that area. In a little county called Liberty County, and I live outside of Dayton, and Dayton's a city in Liberty County. But Dayton is like the hometown. That's where it's in my address. Everything. It's just the hometown. It's where I've always been. Yeah.
Because I'm over by Dallas, so it's always cool.
Yeah.
It's always cool to find someone by Texas.
Or just in Texas in general. Yeah, no, I know you're in Dallas. Isn't KS in like Austin or that kind of area? I don't know if he had moved recently or not. I know the last time I was talking with him, he's in like the Austin area.
No, yeah, he's still there. I'm always trying to figure out how to go and see him, if it's possible or not, because he works a lot and he always works like he works like a night shift pretty much. So it's always weird trying to figure out when to kind of plan stuff with him, because I'll text him during the day and then he'll respond at like 3 a.m. in the morning, because that's when he works.
Yeah, no, he's usually up when I'm up online. I had a Twitter space one time and we was up in it for about 3 hours or something like that, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, just hanging out, chilling. Yeah.
All right, so
cool.
I got a few things just kind of to go over. So let's start off with the most basic question of all time: is how did you get started with music?
I was 12 years old, in my living room with my family. We're watching Back to the Future. Marty McFly gets on stage and he plays Johnny B. Good, and then goes into a Van Halen guitar solo. And I said, "That's what I want to do." My dad got me an acoustic guitar later on, around age 12. Following Christmas, or the one after, I got my first electric guitar. Also, the same time I got around to getting my first desktop computer, and ever since I've just been using whatever DAW I could get my hands on, and whatever instrument I could pick up and play. But that's really honestly where it all started. Because very big like classic rock, kind of contemporary Christian music growing up. That's kind of what it was. Honestly, didn't get into hip hop very like it wasn't around that much. Like I would listen to the like or like the Christian type, like Lecrae and Andy, like all of those, whenever it was first like a thing around like 2010 and stuff. That's when I really started getting into hip hop, and then just expanded from there. But definitely that movie, that was definitely the craziest thing I had ever seen. Or especially the first time I seen it, I was like, "This is insane."
Yeah.
He's going from like blues to classic rock. It was insane to watch. I don't know, it blew my mind, and was just really drawn to learning how to play guitar ever since, and just fell in love with music, and it became my passion. That's how I started getting into it, and eventually went to Lee College for audio engineering and music studio production, and graduated in 2020, very early 2020, or no, 2019, very early 2019 is whenever I graduated. From Lee College with audio, a certificate in audio engineering and music studio production. But that's really the basics of me getting into music, was that scene from Back to the Future and just a lot of classic rock inspiration.
Yeah. Dang, that's crazy. I've actually never seen any of the Back to the Future movies.
They're really good. I don't know why. Like that's like my whole aesthetic. I like honestly, I feel like Marty McFly sometimes. Like that, I can't skateboard, but that I love the aesthetic. That's why I don't know. There's so many little things attached to that movie that I've like put in my own art form, I guess.
And when did you start like dropping music?
I started dropping music in 2019. In 2019, I dropped my first. Well, Scotty the Reaper. Scotty the Reaper first started dropping music in 2019. I did like open mics and stuff, and I was playing a lot of indie music with my acoustic guitar um, at local open mics and stuff like that. Building up into me going into college and eventually like working on hip hop and or not hip hop, just the kind of fusion, trap style, whatever, music. In 2019 is when I released my first single with my best friend at the time. In 2019, so I had studio time at the college, so we'd go up there and record, and we had made 3 songs, and we released one in April. We released 2 on 420 in 2019, and then we dropped another single called Dungeon in 2019 in March, and those were the first couple of songs that I had made with my friend.
Yeah. And then I don't want to get the date wrong. But you after those 2 singles, did you go straight into your project?
Uh, after those, so those first 3 singles were in 2019, and then I dropped a single in uh August or something like that. I can't remember what the date was. My first by myself, Scotty the Reaper single was Thoughts Tied in Knots in 2019, and then I go almost a whole nother year without dropping any music. And on October 31st of 2020, last year, is when I dropped my first project.
And
um,
the whole design on that is sick, by the way. Like the
Thank
cover
you, I
of it, it's
appreciate it.
crazy.
Yeah, no, so that the picture was taken by my dad. So I had like a dream after I'd finished making like all the songs. I had sat on all of those songs since like May of 2020. I had all those songs just done by May, and I sat on them, and I saw this like picture in my head in my dreams, and then I started making a jumpsuit for the cover with my grandma and her embroidery machine. I was spending time with her, and me and my dad went on a vacation, and we put the car in a trailer, and we was in Mississippi, where like the beach is actually like really nice, Biloxi, Mississippi, and where all the casinos and stuff are. And there was like a huge car show, week-long event, and we was spending time together. And he actually took the picture, so it's pretty cool. I don't know, it's like a weird like deja vu kind of moment. And like whenever I like stood there, I felt it, like it was so weird. And then I like the Nikes I wore on the cover are similar to like Marty McFly's style of Nike.
Yeah.
Um, and they sat in the backseat of my car for like 3.5 months just in the box before I went to take the photo for it. And because I didn't want any stains, I didn't want to wear them, nothing like. And as soon as I get out of the hotel and I'm going to the car, I had a Dr. Pepper in my hand, and I open it in the car, and it spilled all over the left shoe. Waited, like I was so mad at myself. It was a
That's
funny
how
moment.
it's always got to be like when you need it the most is when something happens. That's always how it is.
Yeah, yeah. But the car on the cover is my personal like classic uh hot rod. It's like my weekend car that me and my dad had built. We had found it at a donut shop when I was 12 years old, and on the back of the car is my first electric guitar that I've had since like 14. Um, so I don't know, like when it all came together, I really didn't think about it, but there's a lot of sentimental value
Oh
just in
yeah.
that photo. Like all the memories of me like going over with my grandma making the jumpsuit for it, and then the Nikes and how they're attached to the just like my initial like, oh, I really want to start making music, or like at 12, and just overall everything. I don't know. I feel like that picture honestly represents like just my aura like the most. Like the car is attached to me, and like there, and from my perspective, because like I guess it's just like the way I was raised and like everything that I've done. And I don't know, it's just a really personal. There's a lot of personal elements in that
Yeah.
cover, and I really do like that. Like it, I didn't even expect it to turn out that good, like
Yeah.
at all. Like I sometimes I look at it and I'm like, wow, this is really crazy. Like it's a really cool photo, I guess.
It gives off, like, now that you told me it was because of Back to the Future that made you start making music, it gives off like Back to the Future vibes as well to it.
hmm With like the angle and like, cause like there's some photos out there where like he's like getting into the car. It kind of has like the same
Yeah.
kind of like shot. Yeah, I don't know. It's a very thematical shot in my opinion, like
And
cinematic style.
yeah, did you mean it to kind of come out that way, or was it just purely like just take the picture and then it just happened to be like that?
The picture. There was a couple of them, but that specific picture was like exactly what I saw in my head, and then I put everything else on top of it, and then put the like grainy filter. But like the picture, because all I had seen was the picture, and like it was a really weird dream. I don't remember much of it, but it, it was really cool. Honestly, that's kind of how I wanted it to turn out. Like that's exactly what I saw in my head, and that's what I attached to like all the music and stuff. I couldn't have asked for like anything. I can never ask for any more than what I'm given, or like what I have to work with, in my opinion. So it honestly, everything that I do have out or is um like published, everything down to the art, it all has like a reason, or I don't like try and justify it or be like, oh well, maybe it could have been better, because I don't really feel like I feel like if something could be better, I'm gonna make it the best that I can make it be. Or if there's something could be better, I'd put the extra work in and make it the best it could be.
Yeah.
So I couldn't ask for a better, especially for my first overall project. I don't think I could have asked for a better cover or a better like vision to attach to the music.
That's crazy. Like it's crazy that like you dreamt about it and like you visioned it before it even happened, and
hmm
then the way it came out was exactly how you wanted it to come out.
Yeah, I a lot of things have been happening that way, honestly, and they may not be full on deja vu. Like I literally seen this exact same
Mm-hmm.
thing in my dream, but I don't know. It's weird that sometimes a lot of things I'll be doing or certain instances will feel so unreal, or that it'll trigger like a flashback to a dream in
Mm-hmm.
my head that I don't even know how to react in the moment.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
It's like a deja vu or some kind of like sign from the universe. Like it sometimes I'll like Google what time it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take a specific time out of the day. Like the other day it was well, one of my friends was telling me about it, but the other day one of my friends had got like 12:34. Whenever he looked at the clock, he was
Mm-hmm.
like, "That's literally 1, 2, 3, 4." So he googled the meaning of like one, two. What happens whenever you see like numbers in sequence, like
Mm-hmm.
proper sequence, like 8, 7, 9 or
Yeah.
whatever, and read stuff from it. So I've been doing that lately with just like looking at the time and like what does this mean, or like trying to not really put things together, but just certain little goofy meanings behind life. Like I feel like I'm going in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's basically he was saying he was getting, and I've been doing that here recently, and it's pretty cool to like what is the meaning of 325, and then you get a Google answer from it and then read it. It's
Yeah.
kind of an interesting concept, but sometimes I'll be doing it. um Forgot what the question was.
That's cool though. It adds a little bit more kind of just, I forgot the word. Adds a little bit more meaning just to kind of smaller things in life.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I don't know. I never try and look at like without if you want to see a bigger picture, you have to like look at all the minor details on the
Mm-hmm.
painting. You have to, if you want to paint like a beautiful picture, you have to you know see where the lines are and like
Mm-hmm.
how everything is structured, and how what kind of not like a technical approach about it, but like, what do you need to work on first?
Yeah.
Do you need to paint the house on the hill first? Do you need to paint the sunset before you put together all this, like the bigger picture? But yeah, it's pretty cool. I try to live, and just not take advantage of it. Obviously, everybody has moments where they're frustrated and having like a bad time through like their day, but for the most part, I try not to worry about the little things anymore, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. And your name. Where did you come up with your name?
So I came up with my name. So another, like, why I brought up like the numbers and stuff. I feel like the number 33 has always been attached to my life too, like just the number 3. And when I was playing basketball for a private school, I wore the number 33. My coach called me Scottie because I played like some really intense defense, and like was just a strategical, like, coach on the court type player, pass the ball, assist. So he called me Scottie, as in like Scottie Pippen, because I wore 33. And I just, like, ever since that. And there was one day where we was at the college, and I was telling my friend, I was like, we gotta have rap names if we put this out. And he picked his, and I was like, I don't know what to pick mine. And then I don't know. I thought it was a really cool, grimacing, like, name, the Reaper, like the Reaper. And I'm like, what do I put before the Reaper? Because I don't want to use Preston, because I don't know if that'd sound right. And then I thought of Scottie because of basketball and like the number 33 attachment. Because so on the cover of Permanent Vacation, there's a 1977 Mustang, and 19 plus 7 plus 7 is 33.
Oh, sheesh.
And like a lot of like specs on the car have a 3 in it, or like, I don't know, it's weird. Like it's just a weird way to think about it, I guess. But I've always felt attached to that number. So, but yeah, I got Scottie from high school playing basketball, and then I don't know, a lot of people in college, whenever I'm going out to like make music with classmates or whatever, they would be like, "Oh, it's Preston." But as soon as I turn to Scottie the Reaper, it's like, "Oh, that's Scottie." I don't know. It's a weird feeling, but I don't know. I didn't think the name was that good in the first place. Like you never think you have a great like artist name or anything like that, or like, wow, that's so crazy. Or, I don't know. I was just like, that's what I got. That's what I got to put on the first release. So we have artist names, and then I just stuck with it, honestly.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy that you mentioned the whole 3 thing, because about, I want to say 4 or 5 months ago, I was playing Xbox with one of my friends, and it was at like 2:30 in the morning, and we're like dead tired. We're just still playing though, so like anything that we're saying just doesn't really make sense, just because we're so tired at that point. And I brought up this thing about how everything comes in 3s, and like I spent like a whole hour explaining to him like so many things in our world that come in 3s. And from like that day on, the more you notice like and look at things in the world, you see that repeating 3, 6, 9, just anything divisible by 3. And so like every now and then we'll be like playing Xbox or whatever, and we'll see like the number 333, or like the time at 3:33, or like the 2 scores combined would equal 3. And it's just like, we'll just point it out. And it's just the craziest thing that you mentioned that, just because that's been something that we've been kind of going back and forth with recently.
That's pretty cool. Like, but I don't know. I had noticed that one day about the car. I was like, "What's 19 plus 7 plus 7?" And then I was like, "That's 33." And like, 33 is somewhere on my social security card too. Like that's, like, I don't know. I've always felt attached to it. And then like the car itself has a 302 V8 Mustang drivetrain, and then it's a 3-speed automatic. And I don't know, it's just weird. And the rear differential gear is a 300 gear, so it's a 3. So it's pretty weird.
It is weird.
I just always felt like it's like attached.
Yeah.
But no, that's pretty cool though, honestly. Because I feel like things do come in threes.
Mm-hmm.
Like 100. I feel like the 3-6-9 rule is a pretty cool. I don't know. I see it. I don't know how to describe it, but I know exactly what you're talking
Mm-hmm.
about. Like I
Yeah.
see it all the time with those three numbers specifically, and I also try and like put it in my music. That's why Permanent Vacation had 6 songs in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's weird. Or I don't also feel like that's a classic style EP because also I had based that specific project off of like classic rock and how they would build up. So EP with 6 songs, 6 or 7 songs in the 70s, they would build up to the third song on the project.
Yeah.
So the first 2 songs, like not necessarily fillers, but they work their way into the third song,
Mm-hmm.
and then fourth and fifth and sixth and seventh. That's kind of what I did with that album.
Yeah. I definitely feel like most, just like kind of for at least artists kind of getting like their discography up at least, is that EPs are pretty much a solid just stepping stone, because like you don't want to put out a full blown album when you don't have people invested. But if you drop some singles, EPs, and then they're like, okay, when's the album coming?
Right. I feel the same way. I feel like mixtapes and smaller projects can definitely help get people listening to you, and it's honestly just how it is as an artist. The more content that you have there, or if you have exceptional content, like a good amount of exceptional content, you'll have a certain amount of people draw to whatever it is you're portraying in your art form. And I think that you'll find people that relate to it emotionally, or relate to it lyrically, or just overall relate to the sound, and it puts them in a good, like good vibe while they're driving to work or whatever. It's a really a focal key point at this at a specific stage as an artist, where you could keep dropping singles here and there, or you could put out mass pieces of work, or smaller pieces of work, and build a little bit and get more songs out there to build more of a momentum. Like if you think about it, if Travis Scott put out a single called Astro World, would it have the same momentum as the album Astro World? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, yeah, I feel you. And
a 3-song project called Astro World.
Yeah.
It just depends on what kind of hype you want out of it. Because that's one thing I've noticed with bigger song, like album 13, 16, 17, 11 song, 10 song albums, they'll have I don't know, a title to it that's kind of just like, this is what it is. And where like a project will have like just something I don't know, it's a weird way to think about it, I guess, where like a little EP from the 70s or the 80s, they could have like a really exquisite title for no reason, like just a long one. Or like if you notice on Suicide Boys mixtapes, the 2015 mixtape is like, my heart can't, my liver will handle what my heart can't handle. That's a super long name for a title. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's an interesting way to think about it, I think.
I think it's because albums are more commercially pushed out there. So
presented.
Like you don't want a crazy long name that your average listener will be like, I don't really think that's cool based off the name. But like if you put out a mixer or an EP, that's more for like your core fan base. So whatever you put, they're gonna take it either way.
100%.
So it just
depends on the focal point of the project, I guess.
And what is your kind of approach to like marketing your music, like singles, EPs?
I honestly, I don't. So with really only marketing, I think I like done for myself. I did that. I'll take like maybe 2 weeks and talk about a single or something. I really don't know how to market, quote unquote, or have a specific strategy. Um, although certainly I will say I will kind of present like my projects in the same manner of like Permanent Vacation. I'll give like 20 days before the release date of whatever a project is and kind of see what kind of hype it draws in. I don't know how I'll go about it. I'm trying to work on more visual stuff. Everything is just organic. I haven't like invested into advertisements or like SoundCloud reposts or Spotify playlists or anything like that. I I don't know. I don't want to be like uh, someone who's just like pushing music into a bunch of people's faces.
Yeah.
To the point it's like, okay, this is uh
Yeah, you don't want to push it to the point where they're kind of sick of it.
I really just yeah, that's really all I can say. I don't try to push it and until like people are like, I don't even want to check this out. I can say that much. I don't really try to market stuff, I guess, or like have a build up. I haven't been able to present a project like that yet. But overall, for the most part, I really don't have a specific marketing strategy or a way I go about presenting something. It's usually just, this is the release date, this is the cover, this is the title on the cover, or this is when this song's coming out. Here's a little 10-second snippet, maybe. I don't know. I don't try and push it that hard, I guess.
No, yeah.
With marketing.
Yeah. All right, so I got one more thing to cover before we roll out to the outro. This, I know what it's called, but I don't know if it's called this. It's slipping my mind. The Umbrella Collective tape. I want to say it's just called that.
Yeah. It's just called episode 1.
Okay.
But it's the Umbrella Collective.
Yeah. So, what kind of do you? Because I know you produce and then you also make, like, you do your own vocals and everything. Are you more on like the producing side of that tape, or are you like featured vocal wise on it?
Technically, so what? The way I came about into Umbrella Collective, they had talked to me a couple of times. Matt, Geology, Addis Geist, Geology, REX Rose, Rich Illuminati, and Cavallo a couple of times. We had all like communicated or whatever. And when I met up with Ari and Geology in Florida for our studio sessions, we was talking about it, and they were like, we'd really like to have you as part of the group. And it was pretty cool because we were in person. It was the first time everybody was meeting between me, Geology, and REX Rose in person. And I just told them, because originally it was just a beat collective and they would put out beat tapes. I was like, I'll join if we do remixes. If we do remix tapes, I mean, because it's just SoundCloud, I don't necessarily get into a lot of like trouble, I guess. But it's a remix. Now that I'm in it, we're doing just remix tapes and having fun with it and just making custom beats around songs. I do feature vocally on episode 1 though, because I remixed Exile that Bleed Season had produced for me back earlier this year in January. And I put vocals on it, and I put a bunch of other samples from older Memphis, like 3 6 Mafia type style beats. And we did a bunch of cool remixes. Like Ari did a Bones remix. Geology did an insane Kanye West remix of Mercy.
I heard that one. The snippet that they put.
That one it's crazy.
It is.
Guys did a Night Level flip. I can't remember. I think Richie did a NASCAR Aloe flip. and Papa Roxy did an insane Gucci Mane and Gold Mouth remix. Like, it was pretty cool. I don't know what the next plan is for the next tape or anything, but as far as this tape, I made the 2 songs that I the 2 remixes that I did. The first one, the second track on the EP, though, it's like I remixed myself, I guess, and I had added other samples to it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It was a lot of fun. I'm really glad to be part of the group. I think everybody's extremely talented, and I don't know. It's a really fun time, and means a lot to me to be a part of their group, and for them to think that I'm like at the level that they're on.
Yeah,
and it means a lot.
For sure.
But yeah, we're just doing remixes, I guess. Just little
That's a cool concept,
tapes.
though. It's kind of different from like a beat tape that I feel like a lot of people already do. So like a remix tape is just kind of different and out there.
That's my mom. Yeah, no, it's a pretty fun concept. I had presented it to him. I was like, I want to join, but we should do a bunch of remixes and just make custom beats around older songs or whatever our favorite song may be.
Yeah,
and that's just kind of what I've been doing here lately. It's just making some beats, doing some remixes, and I'm trying to get into like a habit of posting more on my Twitter page with like media and snippets of my beats and stuff. So I've been doing remixes, and it's a lot of fun, honestly.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. So, the way we do these outros is I got 3 questions for you.
Awesome.
First one is, in 2 words, describe your style.
Unmatched creativity.
Haven't heard that one yet.
For me personally, I can just say that it's like untouched creativity, I guess, and in like a sense of like just the amount of like genres I'm willing to do and how many I can. Because me and Geology were talking on the phone the other day, and he's like, it's kind of cool how many proper cadences and like types of vocals that I can produce. It's like I feel like I'm probably one of the only artists that can do a trap metal song and an indie song, and then do like a psychedelic rock song and a jazz song all in the same day. Or I could get on a track with a female artist and make it really hype and sing on it, or I can get on a bad bitch type beat and do like a Playboy Cardi type cadence or something like that. But me personally, I'll decide. I feel like I'm a conceptual, conceptual composition styled artist, because everything that I've made and put out has a concept behind the entire song. So I'm not just like necessarily just writing songs to have fun or just to get it out or just to make a song. Because I mean, I do that, but I also try and push a little bit of concept behind the song. There are some songs that don't really have like a concept and they're just like really good or like hype songs that I've made or energetic songs. But for the most part, since October of 2019, I've tried to make as much conceptual music with like a idea. There's a pinpoint behind it. There's this, or like there's a certain vibe, or like going into the session with a certain thought of how I wanted to write things.
Yeah. Second question is, if you could re-listen to an album for the first time again, which one would it be?
I'd probably listen to the Van Halen self-titled album that came out in 1978. Or I'd listen to My Liver Will Handle What My Heart Cannot, or I can't remember the whole title.
Yeah.
By Suicide Boys in 2015.
2 good choices.
And they had some pretty good mixtapes in 2017 as well. I don't know, that new Tyler the Creator album. I would listen to that. I would listen to that again. For the
I
first
have
time,
not gotten to it yet.
That is, it's insane.
I've been
It's
meaning
so
to.
good. It's a 10 out of 10 in my opinion.
Yeah. I've been wanting to. I just haven't been like in the right space to like actually sit down and listen to it yet.
Yeah. No, I totally understand that. It's always fun to have some of your some of those moments where it's like I need to be in the right spot to listen to this, because that's kind of what I was at too before I listened to it.
And then the last one is, what advice do you have for other artists / producers?
I could say this. So yeah, I had went to college and went to school for, doing all this stuff. But at the end of the day, if you don't apply what you're learning, you're not going to be any damn good at it. If you and there's honestly no excuses if you want to get better at something nowadays, because like the internet is at the touch of your fingertips, and I really feel like there's a lot of ways to push yourself to be better than you was the day before. So just keep doing what you're doing, and remember that there's always things to learn, and it's every failed attempt is a good attempt because you learn from it. So, but just keep applying what you're learning to all of the music that you're making, and you'll see how far that you go. That's what I can say.
Definitely good advice. So, I'm going to be sending over a Season 3 sticker right over to you.
Awesome. I'll put it on my laptop.
Yes, sir. And thank you. This was fun. This was nice.
Oh, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Shout out to you. I'm really glad to be a part of it, and it's a very great opportunity. And thank you guys for having me on. I had a lot of fun. If there's any more questions, just come back.
We'll have to do a part 2.
Awesome, man.
In about like 10 years from now, we'll have a whole just rewind of all the first 3 seasons.
We could do that. We could do that. That'd be super tight. Super tight.
So make sure y'all go follow him at everything: Instagram, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, YouTube. Is it all at the same at?
My at is Scottie, SCOTTIE REAP on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and my YouTube channel. Just search Scottie the Reaper. I have a couple of visualizers posted on it, and it has all my recent music. And on Spotify, Apple Music, same thing. Just search Scottie the Reaper, and I'm gonna be there. First one to pop up.
Perfect. You heard him. So we will catch y'all next week. And who do we have after you? I want to say we have, if all goes well, we will have Alex Realm. If I remember, awesome. Yeah. So we'll catch y'all next week. Peace.